Yo, what is up guys, Uncle Crit here. Holy fucking moly, what a lovely new intro. I think it probably represents the series pretty well, with her face turning to skull. I mean, there are so many ups and downs in solo queue as you climb, but eventually you will overcome the mistakes you do and grind to that masters. But anyway, welcome to the third episode of my Tryndamere to Masterseries. This time around we are playing against a Renekton in the top lane. Usually Renekton has the advantage over you early game, but if you do notice that he doesn't know what he's doing, you can just go for little trades here and there, and with the crit you can fully commit and kill him. Otherwise I recommend playing a little bit more defensively in the early levels, since he can be really strong with his fury. Right there I was scouting for Eve in her jungle since I knew her red buff was up, and Renekton actually noticed and followed me, but because I already had my shift so early I was confident in my strength to 1v2 them. So Eve dies and you know, this Renekton was derping around with the plant, so I get away unharmed. Yay. A little bit later Renekton overstays at my tower, desperately trying to get it, so I slow him right there, take the lantern, and he has no chance of escaping with the help of Thresh. So he dies there and we just push out the wave and try to get as much damage as we can on the tier 2 tower, but eventually the minions die and Eve and Zyra show up, so we have to retreat for the moment. But Zyra, actually being a little bit cocky right there, gets hooked from Thresh and instantly destroyed, even wasting her flash. Her plants are actually so annoying, holy crap. I mean, they completely disguise the lantern, kind of like wards, so pressing it becomes impossible. This game is actually of very little quality. I mean, an ADC with no escape whatsoever, aka Jhin, split pushing at the top lane tier 2 tower. Guess what happens next? He dies, of course, and amusingly Kate is doing the exact same thing on the other side of the map. I know I'm still in the placements, but guys, if you main ADC and you're behind, don't try to split push. Just group up and try to be as useful as you can. Fortunately, my team and I are closer to the Baron, so we just take it for free while the enemies are still at bot side. We decided to group up and simply destroy their base with the help of Nash buff. Right there I got myself a pretty nice W assist for free, and right now we are just killing 2 inhibs and getting a couple kills right there. Yasuo is still in the top lane fighting with Lee for whatever reason, and well, Jhin respawned, so we have to be a little bit careful right there, but still want to get the 1 tower, so we just go for it. Renekton is there as well, so I back up a little bit, but since Thresh CCs him really nicely, I go back in there, and because I have my ultimate up, I can just kill Jhin as well. The only one left to defend is Zyra. She tries to root me under the tower, so I just spin out and retreat for now. Though Thresh is still thirsty for some blood, but I feel the danger of dying, so we play it safe and regroup later to finish the game. Which brings us to 6 wins so far and 1 miserable loss. Interesting. In the next game I'm up against a Wukong in the top lane. Syndra and Blitzcrank are actually going for a little cheese onto our red buff here, so I simply ping them there to alert my teammates, and they kinda just wasted their time. Especially Syndra, I mean, she lost like some pressure in mid lane and even some CS and experience. Anyway, as for my laning phase, I want to push in the first wave to stack up my fury and also to put some pressure onto the lane. And as you can see right there, if Wukong desires, he will get some auto attack traits from me, since I do have my passive and I'm able to crit him, and I also do have my ignite, so I'm able to win the 1v1 fairly easily. He wasted his flash and I even timed it in the chat, so Jax decided to gank me in my lane, and Wukong just dies again for free because he wanted to push in for some reason. And guys, I suggest if you do waste your flash in lane, you should really look for a passive, like more kind of playstyle, since you are very vulnerable if you don't have any escapes like Wukong does. Well, he does have his clone, but that wasn't enough. I mean, he was way too far up in the lane. I just shoved in the wave to get myself some nice items without missing out on any farm, and as I'm back in the top lane, I keep up the pressure with pushing into the tower again. And as you can see, Wukong is still level 5 and I'm already level 6, so I'm sure you could all see that dive coming. Putting down my pink ward for some extra swag. Okay, no, I just kind of fucked it up. But for now, I ward the Tri-Brush for some extra safety from Hecarim. And here I'm actually debating over staying or returning back to base into safety, but you know, I'm a really cocky player, so I stay around and push in some more. I do have my flash up, so even if Hecarim shouldn't be able to kill me, I'm actually healing quite a bit of my Q and my Durance, so I'm good to go anyway. A little bit later, I finally get the first blood tower. I kinda just ignored the Wukong there because I really wanted to secure the tower as fast as possible, and also with only the ninja tabby, he deals like no damage at all. Next up is pushing out another wave and heading back to base. Or is that what I'm doing? Actually, no. As I see Hecarim approaching on mid lane on the minimap, I decide to rather stay and keep up the pressure in top lane, because I don't want Wukong to join in on the bot lane fight and the mid lane fight, so I rather stay and pressure him to come back to the lane. I wanted to kill the golems there instead of getting some damage into the top lane tower, since I knew I wouldn't get it, so I rather take the gold instead of some damage to get stronger earlier, if you know what I mean. I got myself a juicy Rift Turret as well, and I kinda got the feeling that instead of splitting top, I should go for some picks. And as my team is fighting in mid lane, Blitzcrank and Zyra are actually a little bit too far up in our territory, so I just come in here and go onto them with my E. I ignite Syndra and flash into auto attack range. Nice E and flash combo from Thresh. I press my ultimate and Wukong gets exhausted and destroyed as well. Lissandra has actually a pretty nice AoE damage, so she is doing a lot of work here. Some moments ago, Thresh actually got a pretty fucking damn nice hook onto the Vayne, but I couldn't afford to go onto her since I didn't have my ultimate, and I was really scared of her condemn and the Hecarim approaching with his slow smite. And that's exactly what happens. Lissandra actually goes onto the Vayne in the backline and obliterates her. Thresh even gets away, which is pretty damn nice considering Hecarim blew everything for him, but he still couldn't get him. Well, a few moments later I got myself a rep buff, and I'm simply just splitting a topside since no one can 1v1 me or even 1v2 me or some kind of that. Maybe Syndra is kinda strong, but she's no match for me. I mean, I got myself a rep buff, and you know, if I got rep buff, it's over. It's freaking over. Like, it's over 9,000 or even fucking more. Holy shit.
It's over 9,000!
Blitzcrank, as nice as he is, hooks me into the wave, and I can get the last shift proc onto the wave and spinning out to get the CS. And Syndra couldn't get me there with her E, so I get away safely. Next up is splitting again. I got myself a Gunblade because I'm really far ahead and I really like the healing when I'm up against squishy targets like Syndra and, you know, Hecarim, Blitzcrank, Vayne, all these guys, you know. I'm finally able to kill the tower, and for now I want to retreat, and I'm waiting for my E since I wanted to dodge the hook from Blitzcrank, but he actually doesn't throw it out, so I just E away, but he flashes onto me with his hook and I couldn't react in time, so instead I flash onto the Vayne and kill her. Unluckily for me, Wukong just waited for me on the other side, so there was no way I could have gotten out of that situation if I hadn't dodged or at least like flashed the hook from Blitzcrank. Next up should be some kind of Nash play, and we actually wanted to group up for that, but Draven kind of suicides into Blitzcrank and Syndra, so yeah, nothing we can do. and he even blames us for it, like Lissandra, why she didn't help him there, but I think it was fine since she would have probably died as well. Damn nice ultimate from Lissandra onto the Syndra in the back there, no chance for her to get anything off, and Wukong even decides to go in as well, so we just kill them one by one, and I think we should do Baron here, but my team actually doesn't want to, and well, you know, I think it was the right call, but you know, if your team decides to do anything else that is like a little bit less good, you should still follow up on it, because I mean, you should get something out of it, even if it's just a dragon or a tower, you know. But we actually do get the Baron a little bit later. And since Lissandra again got a double kill, which is pretty nice, and we just group up in mid lane, Wukong is trying to push out the wave there, but he actually gets caught out by my W, and he instantly uses his clone, but we of course see it since my mark was on him there. Kind of bad for us since the Draven got hooked by Blitzcrank, so I go onto the backline, but I can't reach Vayne and Syndra, so I just go onto the Wukong there, but Lissandra actually kills them both with her ultimate there. Pretty funny, she wanted to ultimate the Syndra, but she dodged it with her hourglass, and instead Vayne got herself a nice little Lissandra ultimate onto her face, and Syndra even kind of flashed onto it after she had dodged it. Which is unfortunate for them, but well, good for us, you know. Which brings the 8th game to an end, and we finally get another victory for us. And that fucking Draven skin is so annoying, holy shit. This creepy hat is just like, what the heck? Anyway, we are 7 wins and 1 loss so far. Oh yeah. In the 9th game of my placements, I'm up against the devil himself, Teemo. I'm sure you all wanted to see the matchup, but this guy won't be much of a challenge. As you can see, he started with his E, which is pretty bad for him because I can initiate level 1, and you know, I'm really fucking strong in level 1, even with Ignite. So this guy just gets fucked and toyed around with, and which he should like normally do with me, but if he doesn't have his blind, I can just go onto him. Even taking a little tower shot there, which is unfortunate, but you know me. I get my level 2 power spike, and what's happening next? The E flash boom crit in his face. And you all know he deserves it. But no, actually I kinda like Teemo, but if these guys start building Mallet and Ninja Tabby, I'm just kinda just start to dislike the champ, you know. Teemo having no flash, I just call my pony over and he bumps him into my wall and I just kill him again. Which is pretty nice, so he won't get any CS at all and he's just going to have a bad time overall. Although it is still Teemo, so yeah. Well, he does still do a lot of damage, but now he's level 5 and I'm level 6, so I wanted to go for a little dive there. And actually kinda close with the poison ticking there and the ignite denying my heal, but well, I kinda got a little bit lucky, but let's call it skill and calculating. I get the first blood tower there and I call over my Hecarim to do the Rift Herald with me, and he actually comes over, and what you want to do is always kill that plant over there if you are on the blue side, because if you happen to like get contested by the enemies, they can't just like use the plant to get over and then still have their gap closer if they decide to go over that wall, so it's like a little bit safer if you take it. Brand gets a nice stun off and we kill the Ryze as well. For now we want to go bot lane since Lee and the others are kind of very hard overextended there, diving our bot lane, so we want to help them out. And Lee and Tom are still alive and I think I went the wrong route there. I should have probably went like through red buff, but yeah. Well, Tom dies here anyway with the smite of Hecarim, and Lee gets cut off by the brand and the Hecarim kills him anyway. About 2 minutes later, I decided to go bot lane with Thresh to push down the tower, since it was the easiest one and no one wanted to contest it. I go back to base and buy myself a nice Infinity Edge, so my power spike is real. I mean guys, 20 minutes in and I got myself a Shiv and an Infinity Edge with my magic resist boots, so Teemo won't be a problem. And that was kinda cocky right there to trying to get the blue buff, but I get it anyway and I dodged the skills from Ryze and Jhin, so there isn't any problem here. Thresh comes over and I try to get onto the Ryze, but his Storm Raiders is too fucking fast. Oh man, a fellow Storm Raiders user is always appreciated, and Jhin kind of steps too far to me, so I slow him and then I kill him right there. I actually don't know why I didn't use my E instead of like flashing onto him, but I kind of forgot, like probably wanted to secure it, but anyway, I got the kill and I got out, so it's not a big deal at all. A couple minutes later, my team actually started to feed a little bit, so Ryze and Lee were able to kill the tier 2 tower there. I kill Lee with my crits and my rep buff, and the Ryze actually gets away, so sad. And he doesn't even die from rep buff, holy shit. Ah, sad day my friends, sad day. But what we do get is this juicy farm, and that frog maybe over there? I know I'm not French, but I think frog is a delicacy over there, so I guess I take it. Well, there's a juicy dragon as well, so, and it's also an infernal drake, so that's pretty nice as well, and we get that for ourselves as well, and that should probably help out our team to not like feed anymore, and we're probably good to go. Ryze, I kinda walks up, but I fucked up my slow. But does it matter? He got a lot of shields, but no, it doesn't even matter. I don't even need my ultimate. What am I even saying? With rep buff, which is probably my final form, I don't need my freaking ultimate to dive someone. Last episode, someone in the comment section actually made up a drinking game, which contains, like, of course watching my video, but all the time I do a dive without using my ultimate, you take a shot. And I found that pretty amusing, and I wanted to make a shout out for that guy. Nevertheless, as I'm enjoying my French meal, I get kinda eaten by the meal, so yeah, that's not nice, and I disengage for now and go back home and leave a bad comment about the restaurant. Thresh gives me his lantern so I can join the fight easily, and Hecarim gets a pretty nice ultimate off, and Tom gets hooked as well. Almost a good kick by Lee, but not good enough, and I get myself a triple kill. And like 70 to 80% of the time the enemies want to report my top laner, like my opponent, but well, it's kind of understandable. And I do kill the Jhin and the Lee, which is an unofficial penta. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the pentakill shoutout, but it's fine either way. We do get the Baron as well, and with the inhib open, mid lane and a Baron, we just have to group up in a lane and we decide to go bot lane as 5 people. And that's what we're doing, and I get eaten by the frog again, which is kind of disturbing. But we win the fight anyway, and yeah, there we go. That's basically game, and I flash onto the Ryze to kill him there, and we simply push in to finish the game. The final game for today brings us to 8 wins and 1 loss so far. And yo guys, if you watched up to this point, I'm really grateful to you and I really hope you enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and see you around. Peace.